Nobody talks about this enough. While everyone's chasing new, turbocharged everything, some of the most over-engineered luxury cars ever sold in North America are quietly sitting in auction lanes, undervalued, misunderstood, and built like nothing today. These aren't old Lexuses. They're machines from an era when Toyota was obsessed with proving a point. V8s that outlast ownership cycles. Suspensions tuned for silence. Interiors that refuse to fall apart. Right now, there's a small window where you can still buy these neoclassical Lexus models before the market fully wakes up. Let's start with the sedan that built the brand's reputation from scratch. Spend 5 minutes around someone who's owned a 1995 to 2000 Lexus LS400, and you'll hear the same tone in their voice. Not excitement, not hype, respect. This was peak, prove a point, Lexus. Under the hood sits the 4.0-liter 1UZ FE-V8, making roughly 260 horsepower, paired to a 4-speed automatic that shifts like it's insulated in velvet. Zero drama, zero theatrics, just smooth, relentless torque. In real life, expect around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 23 on the highway if it's healthy. Here's what makes it neoclassical. The doors close with that dense bank vault weight. The cabin materials age like expensive furniture. Even at 200,000 miles, these cars don't feel tired if they've been maintained. I've seen auction examples sell for anywhere between $4,000 and $9,000 depending on mileage and condition. Clean, documented cars are creeping upward. But don't get blinded by reputation. Most problems aren't catastrophic engine failures. They're age, cooling system neglect, old bushings, seeping valve cover gaskets. Suspension wear is more common than internal engine issues. If it floats too much or clunks over bumps, budget for control arms and bushings. That's normal at this age. And here's a buyer mistake I see constantly, ignoring maintenance history because it's a Toyota. Fluids matter, timing belt service matters. A cheap LS400 with no records can turn into deferred maintenance real quick. Quick side note, if you're looking at cars at auction or private sale, keep a basic inspection kit in your trunk. A simple toolkit and a portable tire inflator compressor can literally save you from buying a car with uneven wear or a slow leak that tells a bigger story. I keep both in my own daily. Links are in the description. Ideal buyer? Someone who wants a long-distance cruiser that feels expensive without paying modern luxury prices. If you want flashy, this isn't it. If you want something that feels engineered instead of assembled, this is your car. But what happens when Lexus took this formula and quietly made it even more serious? If the LS400 proved Lexus could build a world-class luxury car, the 2001 to 2006 Lexus LS430 proved they could perfect it. This is the one that feels like it was engineered in total silence. No rush, no cost-cutting panic, just refinement stacked on refinement. Under the hood, you get a 4.3-liter V8 pushing about 290 horsepower, paired to a 5-speed automatic that shifts so smoothly most people forget it's even working. Real-world fuel economy? Around 18 miles per gallon in the city, maybe 25 on the highway if you drive like a grown adult. Here's the difference you notice immediately. Isolation. Road noise is almost gone. Steering is lighter but more precise. Seats feel like they were shaped after someone actually studied posture. It has that quiet ambassador car presence without trying too hard. Now let's talk buying reality. If you're shopping one, the timing belt and water pump service is everything. I mean everything. That service separates a smart buy from a 4-figure surprise. Ask for documentation. If the seller says, "I think it was done," assume it was not. Some trims came with air suspension. When it works, ride quality is magic carpet smooth. When it fails, those air struts and sensors are not cheap. Check ride height. Look for uneven stance. Listen for compressor cycling too often. Auction prices lately? Solid examples are trading anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000 depending on mileage and condition. The clean, documented cars are getting strong money. That tells you something about demand. Ownership truth. These cars will outlast most modern luxury sedans, but only if you respect maintenance intervals. Ignore them, and even a Lexus will remind you it's still a machine. Ideal buyer? Someone who wants old money comfort without new money depreciation? But if you think this was Lexus at its smoothest, wait until we step away from sedans and into something with 2 doors and a completely different personality. Quick favor, my friend. If this is helping you shop smarter, tap like and subscribe. And drop your city in the comments so we can keep these price breakdowns real for your market. Slide into a 1992 to 2000 Lexus SC400 and it feels like you opened a time capsule from when grand touring still meant something. Long hood, frameless doors, quiet confidence. This wasn't built to chase lap times, it was built to cross states without raising your pulse. Under that sculpted front end sits the same 4.0-liter V8 family, rated at about 250 horsepower in earlier years, paired to a smooth 4-speed automatic. Zero urgency, all composure. Real-world fuel economy usually lands around 16 miles per gallon in the city and roughly 22 on the highway. Here's where buyers get it wrong. Mileage does not scare me on an SC400. Neglect does. I would rather buy a car with 180,000 miles and clean records than a low-mile example that sat outside with cracked bushings and brittle wiring. These cars reward consistency. Oil changes, cooling system service, suspension refresh, basic stuff. Steering racks can seep with age, suspension components wear, electronics from the 1990s sometimes develop small gremlins. None of this is catastrophic, but sloppy ownership kills value fast. Clean, unmodified cars are gold right now. Auction activity on platforms like Bring a Trailer and Cars and Bids shows a wide spread. Rough drivers can dip under $8,000. Sorted examples with documentation can climb past $20,000. Condition swings everything. Ownership scenario? This is the car for someone who appreciates subtlety. You park it next to modern coupes and it doesn't shout. It just sits there looking expensive in a way new cars struggle to replicate. And here's the interesting part. While coupes like this feel special, the next vehicle on this list isn't about elegance at all. It's about durability. The kind of durability that makes off-road communities borderline obsessive. Here's where the conversation shifts. The 2003 to 2009 Lexus GX470 is not about elegance, it's about structure. This is body-on-frame engineering, shared bloodline with the Toyota Prado, built during a time when durability mattered more than marketing language. Under the hood lives a 4.7-liter V8 producing around 235 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed automatic and a proper low-range transfer case. That matters. This is not a soft crossover pretending to be capable. It's built like a truck. Real-world fuel economy? Expect roughly 15 miles per gallon in the city and maybe 19 on the highway, if you keep your foot light. Now let's talk reality. You're not buying this for speed. You're buying it because it will run past 250,000 miles if basic maintenance is respected. Owners regularly report extremely high mileage without internal engine drama. That reputation is real. But there is one non-negotiable inspection point: frame rust. If the truck spent years in snow states where road salt was heavy, you must get underneath it. Surface rust is manageable. Structural rust on the frame is not. Bring a flashlight. Look at cross members. Check suspension mounting points. This single inspection step can save you thousands. Suspension components wear like any body-on-frame SUV. Air suspension on certain trims can become expensive if neglected. Some owners convert to traditional coil setups to avoid long-term air system costs. That is not necessarily a red flag if done correctly. Auction and private market prices typically range from $8,000 for higher mileage examples to well over $20,000 for clean, rust-free, lower mileage trucks. Demand from overland and off-road communities keeps values firm. Buyer mistake? Assuming every GX470 is bulletproof without checking history, timing belt service still matters. Fluids still matter. Ownership discipline is everything. Ideal buyer is someone who wants legitimate capability wrapped in Lexus insulation. School runs during the week, trail use on weekends, no drama. And if you think this is peak overbuilt Lexus SUV energy, wait until we talk about the one that wears a tuxedo but shares DNA with a global legend. Now we close this the right way. The 1998 to 2007 Lexus LX470 is what happens when you take the legendary Land Cruiser 100 platform and dress it in a tailored suit. Same backbone, same philosophy. Just quieter, heavier, more composed. Under the hood sits that 4.7-liter V8, making around 235 horsepower in earlier years and creeping slightly higher in later updates. It's paired to a 4-speed automatic at first, then a 5-speed in later models. No rush, no aggression, just torque delivered in a calm, almost lazy wave. Real-world fuel economy usually lands around 12 to 14 miles per gallon in the city and maybe 16 to 18 on the highway. You do not buy this to save fuel. You buy it because it refuses to quit. This is over-engineered in the old world sense. Thick frame, full-time, 4-wheel drive, locking center differential, built to survive places most luxury SUVs will never see. Yet inside, it feels isolated, solid, timeless. Market reality? Clean examples are not cheap anymore. Higher mileage trucks can start around $15,000, but truly clean, well-documented examples regularly climb past $30,000. Some pristine auction units push even higher. Supply is not growing. Demand definitely is. Now let's talk smart buying. Timing belt service is critical on this V8. Documentation matters. Hydraulic active height control suspension must be inspected carefully. If the truck sits unevenly or feels overly bouncy, budget accordingly. Repairs can get expensive if ignored. Also look underneath for signs of heavy off-road abuse versus light trail use. Scrapes are fine. Structural damage is not. Ownership truth? These will run 300,000 miles when maintained. I've seen it. What kills them is neglect, not engineering weakness. Ideal buyer is someone who wants long-term durability with genuine presence. You're not flexing. You're investing in something that was built during an era when Toyota overbuilt everything on purpose. And that's really the theme here. These neoclassical Lexus models matter right now because modern luxury feels disposable. These don't. They were built to age with you, not expire after a lease cycle. If you understand that difference, you're already ahead of most buyers. More smart buys coming next? 5 over-engineered Lexus machines. Not hype cars, not trend cars. Real metal built when Toyota was obsessed with durability. LS400 started the war, LS430 refined it, SC400 kept Grand Touring alive, GX470 proved body on frame still matters, LX470? That's long-term wealth on wheels. These aren't getting cheaper. Smart buyers are already moving. If this helped you think differently, hit like, subscribe, and tell me your city in the comments.